Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be covering the Dread bow in my budget build video series. This is going to be number 3, and without further ado, let's just go ahead and start talking about the weapon. Now, the Dread itself. If you go ahead and look in here, we have our default stats here. The Dread is a fantastic weapon. It is dropped by the Shadow Stalker, and it's pretty much his most common drop. It'll drop as a weapon blueprint, and you'll have to build it in your foundry on your ship. The Dread does primarily slash damage, as you can see here. It has a little bit of impact, a little bit of puncture, but the main damage source is slash damage. It has a 20% status chance, 0.7 reload rate, and it is silent. Now, the biggest thing about this bow is that it has a 50% default crit chance. This is the highest default crit chance in the entire game of any weapon. So, of course, we're going to be building a critical damage build on this bow. But it is going to be budget-based, so you guys do not have to worry about having, like, expensive mods. Now, the bow itself does only come with these 2 polarity slots with Vs. I have 3 forma on mine because when I first got this bow, this was one of my favorite weapons, and I really liked it, so I used it a lot, and I wanted to make sure it could fit all the mods it could possibly fit. Of course, if that is not the case for you and you do not have a lot of forma to put on it, this build is going to be focused on you, so you do not have to worry about putting a single forma on this, and this weapon can still get the job done. So, looking at the build here, we've got split chamber. This is going to make it so that you have multi-shot whenever you shoot. We have serration to add damage. We have speed trigger. This is going to make it so that instead of the default draw time of 1 second, it's going to be drawn back in 0.45 seconds. This is going to be able to get you off shots, get your shots off a lot faster. Point strike, of course, for critical chance. This is going to bring our critical chance all the way up to 125% chance. And now you may be thinking, why do I need more than a 100% critical chance? Well, for those of you who don't know, having a higher critical chance than 100% makes it so that you can red crit enemies. And this is basically a super crit. It's a crit on top of a crit almost. This is going to make it so that you have a 25% chance to crit. To red crit enemies. So you will always yellow crit. So whenever you hit an enemy with a yellow damage number, that's a critical hit. If you see a red damage number, that's what's known as a red crit. But this is going to make it so that you have a 100% crit chance. You're always going to be critting enemies when you shoot this bow at them, and this will give it so that you have an even higher chance of red critting enemies. The other 2 mods that I've thrown on are a Stormbringer and an Infected Clip. This is going to make it so we deal corrosive damage. And remember, guys, this does add on to the base damage of your bow so that every single shot is going to be doing a combination of this damage here. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into the gameplay. Now, in talking about the Dread itself for a little bit here, the mastery rank for this weapon is actually 0. You do not have to be any mastery rank at all to build this weapon. That being said, you are going to need some strong allies to take down the Shadow Stalker if it's your first time fighting him. And, of course, like I said, it is a drop chance. He's not guaranteed to drop this weapon blueprint for you. But if he does, and you're lucky enough, which isn't very hard since it is a very common drop, it's going to cost you about 15,000 credits, 6 Morphics, 900 circuits, 750 polymer bundle, and 900 plastids to build this bow. Useful tips for utilizing this bow and putting it to its maximum potential include the fact that arrows do have travel time, meaning you will have to lead targets in certain situations if you actually want to hit them. That being said as well, it's going to be important for you to realize when you're playing on a relatively bad connection that your bow isn't going to be hitting people as much as you would like it to. Other important tips for using this weapon is that bows have natural punch through, meaning if you shoot an enemy and there's another enemy standing behind him, it's going to hit both enemies. Now, of course, it will hit them for equal damage numbers, granted that they both have the same amount of armor. If the target behind or the target in front has more armor, then it will not hit both targets for the same amount of damage. Now, for all bow type weapons, you can cancel shots if need be. This is done by pressing your reload key. Basically what this means is if you chamber a shot and charge it all the way, but you'd rather not fire it because the enemy is already dead or something else, press the reload key and you will not waste a shot. And that just about wraps up all I have to say about this bow. It is a fantastic weapon and, in my opinion, is one of the best bows in the game. I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and as always, please leave a like and comment down below if you want to see another specific weapon done next in my next budget build video.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.